Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world, and that's our job.
Hey, yo, what's good, people? My name is Isaac. Welcome to the channel. If you're a hip-hop head, you like clothes, shoes, you like looking fly, then you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit that bell for the kids so you always know whenever the videos is dropping. Today I'm going to be reviewing Pac's third studio album, Me Against the World. The album was released on March 14th, 1995, debuted at #1 on Billboard, sold 210,500 copies in its first week, and eventually went on to go platinum. When Me Against the World released, Pac was locked up at the time. I thought it was really dope that people were still checking for him despite all of his million cases, the media also stirring shit up, making everything worse. The fans still showed up for Pac, which is a testament to the reach that he had as a 24-year-old artist. Pac had said that the Me Against the World album was to show people the respect that he had for the art form. He didn't want his past mistakes to be taken as a disregard for the craft. This album was very personal, it was very deep, it was very sad to see how low of a place Pac was in. He didn't know who to trust, and there was always that feeling of death that was looming all through the album when you listen. He was holding on for dear life, he was fighting an internal war against himself as well as the outside world. It really seemed like the more success he found, the more bad stuff would happen to him. Like real shit, it was like more money, more problems. The intro track to Me Against the World perfectly summarized some of the major circumstances that Pac found himself in. You had the situation when he shot at 2 off-duty police officers. There was of course the bogus sexual abuse charges and the infamous shooting at Quad Studios. There's not too many niggas out there who can say that they shot at the police for whatever the reason was and they beat the case. Everything could have ended right there for him. He could have been killed by the cops. You never know what could have happened. They're trying to get to their hotel after a performance and they see 2 white men beating up a black man in the middle of the road. Pac gets out the car trying to help this man getting beat up, and one of those cops pulled out a gun on him. And in self-defense, like a lot of cops normally like to say, Pac pulled out the strap and it was all fireworks. I'm saying 4th of July all over again. The case ended up being thrown out because the 2 officers were drunk during the whole situation. They also lied about who started this shit, and they had stolen guns. I'm not anti-police, I'm just anti-bully ass motherfuckers who think that they can get away with anything just because they wear that badge. So I'm team Pac all the way, fuck all the bullshit. On the sexual abuse charges, the reason I believe Pac is innocent is not even anything that he did, but everything to do with the alleged victim. I'm not gonna say Shorty's name, her story has changed up so many times it's not even funny. Like, pick whichever lie you wanna use and stick with it. There has never been consistency with her story ever. The whole thing looked like a setup to me. I have mad respect for good women out there, and no matter how much love I have for Pac, if you wrong, you wrong. But in this case, he all good with me. She was on some bullshit. Then you have the Quad Studio situation where Pac was robbed and shot 5 times. The shooting happened the day before the jury was set to reach their verdict for the abuse case, which he ended up getting 18 months to 4.5 years in prison. Pac strongly believes Bad Boy was behind the shooting, which I personally never really bought into. I always believed Biggie, no doubt, but low-key I understand suspecting Puff, but that's some whole other shit I'm not gonna get into in this video. In the early 90s, there was that East Coast, West Coast rivalry going on. The strong come up of the West Coast in the early 90s was frowned upon by a lot of cats on the East. There was a lot of jealousy. The shooting at Quad Studios reignited that East Coast, West Coast war. Pac spent about 9 months in prison before Suge came in for the rescue and bailed him out. If Pac never went to prison, would he have signed to death row? Would there have been an All Eyes on Me album? What if someone else bailed Pac out, not named Suge? How would hip-hop have looked if Pac died at Quad Studios that night? If Pac never got hit in the drive-by in Vegas, do you guys think that he would still be alive today? I always feel like if Pac didn't die in Vegas, someone else would have gotten him. The way Pac was moving, the millions of songs he recorded, the picture that he took right before everything happened, it just seemed to me like he knew that something was up. He knew that his life was going to be coming to an end soon. Me Against the World, you know what I'm saying? I really enjoyed going back and listening to this album. I love how personal it was, and we can all relate because we've all hit that point in life when we were just beyond fed up with all the problems of this world. You can hear the courage in Pac's voice to keep on pushing no matter what, but then you also hear the anguish as well. On tracks like If I Die Tonight, Lord Knows, So Many Tears, Pac talks about losing people close to him, feeling cursed in this world, fighting for survival, but also being okay with losing his life just to be able to finally find peace. To know that after Pac was released from prison in '95, he was assassinated about 11 months later, that shit just don't sit right with me, man. Like, this album was almost like him foreshadowing his own demise, man. It's sad as fuck. The most successful single on Me Against the World was Dear Mama, which was produced by Tony Pizarro. It's one of the more beautiful and not so sad moments on the album where Pac thanks his mom for everything. There's a lot of stuff that he didn't understand in his younger days, but as he got older, he appreciated all the sacrifices that his mom, Afeni Shakur, made for him. Old School, which was a track produced by Soul Shock, was another song I loved. Like, it was Pac reminiscing about the good old times in hip-hop. He shows love to all the pioneers in hip-hop who inspired him, such as Grandmaster Cass, Dougie Fresh, Rakim, LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane, cats like that. The production on this album was very good. I think it was very underrated. Even though I don't think that it was better than All Eyes on Me's production, I was still very impressed with how the beats really complemented Pac's themes of despair, hopelessness, and bravery. I was really feeling that. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the video. Tupac Amaru Shakur, you are one of the reasons that I revisit these classics. God rest your soul, as well as your mother, Afeni Shakur. I hope that you appreciate me and every other person who still rocks with your music. Everybody get in the comment section and let me know what your favorite song on the album was, your thoughts on the album, least favorite song, all that. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at I'm Hurrikane Isaac 95. I'm gone. Peace.